The UAE just pledged $1.4 trillion to the United States of America. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.4 trillion. And that's along with $600 billion from Saudi Arabia. Trump's administration has attracted $3 trillion in pledges since he took office. And rumor has it, China's even in talks to buy Bitcoin behind closed doors. China. But that's hearsay, and that's a pledge. Bitcoin isn't hopium, it's actually transforming the world. Like equity markets, where MicroStrategy makes up 0.07 of the entire stock market, but makes up 16% of the fundraising. Or a small Japanese company that no one heard of, but was the #1 performing stock globally in 2024. To Zambian villages that are being transformed by Bitcoin mining. Oh, and Europe's finally getting on the Bitcoin ETF train. Bitcoin isn't pledging to transform the world, it already is. Oh, and Bitcoin is what brought me down to Miami, where we're doing this show from today. Oh, and I'm out here with some friends too. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Let's go! Let's go. What's up from Mining Disrupt in Miami? This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. And despite what the media says, it's not all bad out there in the world.
We've seen worries about growth. I know you said you're not expecting a recession, but investors are on edge over the possibility of a recession this year after the Atlanta Federal Reserve said that it's predicting a 2.4% contraction in the first quarter. And of course, President Trump would not
what? Wait. Say that again. A what? What?
The Atlanta Federal Reserve.
2.4% contraction?
Correct. First quarter.
Okay, right here, right now. That is ridiculous.
Okay. Have you spoken to the president of the Atlanta Federal Reserve? Have you told
Absolutely
the Atlanta?
Not.
Have you told the Atlanta Fed that you say it's ridiculous because they're out with this contraction prediction for the and I know that you and President Trump are handed a mess. I'm not arguing that, but now we're talking about recession, and I asked President Trump about it this week, and he didn't say no.
Look at the sheer amount of investment coming to the United States. $3 trillion, if we're going to be exact. The UAE, $1.4 trillion. Saudi Arabia, $600 billion. Apple, $500 billion. OpenAI, $100 billion. But those are just pledges. Bitcoin is actually transforming markets in the world. If you haven't heard of MetaPlanet before, you probably will in the future. They have a cult-like following like Apple.
Konnichiwa, MetaPlanet shareholders. I'm so delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you today. MetaPlanet and Strategy are on the same mission together to convert the world to a Bitcoin standard. And we both view ourselves as being cheerful revolutionaries in the capital markets. Most conventional capital markets equities are valued based upon the promise of future money. But our company in MetaPlanet, we're offering to be valued based upon the money we actually have. And most fixed income instruments in the capital markets are valued based upon the promise of future cash flows to pay off the debt, whereas we're pioneering a new world where we actually issue fixed income instruments backed by the actual money that we have. And the reason we can do it is because both companies have capitalized on non-toxic money. We've capitalized on Bitcoin, a capital asset which is appreciating faster than the cost of capital. Every other company in the world is generally capitalized on sovereign debt or currencies that underperform the cost of capital. So I've had many great discussions with Simon, and he and I are on this journey together. It's a mission. It's a mission to deliver Bitcoin-backed securities to the world, and we see hundreds of trillions of dollars of equity and hundreds of trillions of dollars of fixed income instruments that are valued based upon what we see as antiquated 20th century methods. We're really excited about taking the capital markets in the 21st century. I think Strategy is leading the charge in the United States, and MetaPlanet is leading the charge in Japan. Thank you for supporting MetaPlanet. Thank you for supporting Bitcoin. Thank you for supporting Strategy. And we look forward to continuing this journey together. onward and upward.
MetaPlanet president Simon Garovich said that MetaPlanet will only buy Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin company, and there is no second best. They just had a shareholder meeting, and this is how crazy it was. The whole room was packed, and there were lines wrapped around the building just to come hear about what they were going to do in 2026 as it relates to Bitcoin. The free swag that they were giving out at the event has a black market, and the bags and hats are going for $100. And people are hyped because MetaPlanet was the #1 equity globally. It has the 10th largest Bitcoin treasury, and it plans to have 21,000 Bitcoin by 2026. And they're not the only participant in Asia getting into the fold. There's rumor that China is getting into the Bitcoin fray, as they're having talks to buy Bitcoin for their strategic reserve behind closed doors, according to David Bailey. And that's probably because they don't want to be left behind. And they probably are, based on clips like these from Bo Hines.
Well, we delivered on the president's promises that he made on the campaign trail. The president was adamant about creating the SBR. We wanted to make sure that we did it right in a way that respected Bitcoin for being so unique, and also gave credence to innovation in other spaces of the digital asset world. So, for us here, we look at Bitcoin, it's not a security, it's a commodity. It has intrinsic stored value that's traditionally accepted. It has, as David likes to describe, the immaculate conception. There's no issuer. And that's why, as you saw in the executive order, we compared this to digital gold. It's something that's imperative for the United States to have, retain, continue to build on. And I think that's worth pointing out that the way that this is constructed, we talked about ways of acquiring more Bitcoin in budget-neutral ways that won't cost the taxpayer a dime.
For those of you who don't know who Bo Hines is, he's the executive director for President Trump's Council for Digital Assets. And he says they are finding countless ways that they could buy Bitcoin in a budget-neutral way, like selling gold. Sorry, Peter. Can you imagine if the U.S. starts to stack Bitcoin? Or what about people in Europe, which now have the option to buy Bitcoin through an ETF that BlackRock launched, just like they did in America January 11th, 2024. There's lots of products that are beginning to revolutionize how we experience financial markets and financial assets through Bitcoin. Before we move any further of how Bitcoin is transforming the world, let's go to one of our sponsors, which is transforming the way that people borrow against their Bitcoin. Ledn has been the leader in borrowing against your Bitcoin since 2018. They've issued over $9 billion worth of loans to over 40,000 customers, and the time it takes to get a loan from Ledn is less than 24 hours. If you want to borrow $5,000 in your local currency, you have to post $10,000 worth of Bitcoin collateral. They're the first digital lender to do a proof of reserves, and they've never lost a single cent or sat of customer money. And that's why they're a partner that you can trust and why we trust them on this show. Go to learn.ledn.io/borrow to get started with your Bitcoin-backed loan today. Unlock liquidity in your Bitcoin without selling your Bitcoin by going to learn.ledn.io/borrow. Our second sponsor is the Bitcoin Way. They're experts in helping you protect your generational wealth the right way. They will help you take self-custody of your Bitcoin and become a sovereign individual. And they'll help you do that privately, safely, securely, and confidently by partnering you with a member from their team who will walk you through how to do this step by step. Go to thebitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin to get started on your journey today by becoming a sovereign individual. That's thebitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin. In every society, in every person, there's almost always things that we want and things that we need. And sometimes we forget in privileged societies of why we need Bitcoin in the first place.
Can I have a
Right,
word with
I'm now in Santander Bank, right?
What are you doing, sir?
I'm filming you and I'm recording this conversation. I'm coming to the bank to withdraw £2,500. Are you going to let me? I've got £11,500 in my account. Are you going to let me? Are you going to let me to have the money or not? Hello, are you going to let me have the money or not? Huh?
I can't remove that restriction that's on there.
You can't remove this restriction. You can't remove the restriction, okay. After your colleague told me that I'm a liar, yeah? So your colleague told me I'm a liar yesterday. I've come in to withdraw £2,500, yeah? And you're not going to let me have my money today, is that right?
Right, you can still use your card.
I'm not, answer the question, please, yeah? I can still use my card. Are you going to let me withdraw £2,500 from my account today, yes or no, in the branch?
And what is the £2,500 for, Mr. Jackson?
Buying a motorbike for my son.
Right, okay, so have you got any evidence of the motorbike you...
No, I haven't got any evidence of a motorbike at all, no, I haven't got it, 'cause I don't know what one I'm getting yet.
Okay, so if you don't know what you're getting, how do you know how much you need? So
Because
when
I've got a budget. I've got a budget of £2,500 for the motorbike. So that's why I want to withdraw £2,500 from my account today.
Right,
Yeah.
so when you find the bike for your son, if you can show us some evidence of that.
So you're not. So I need to show you evidence. So I need to show you evidence. I'm doing it.
Video call of this.
Really,
You cannot,
Connor,
you
I'm
can't,
doing
you
it
can't
now.
film me without my permission, sir. You
Really?
cannot film
Right.
me.
So you're not. So you're not going to give me the money, no?
I'm gonna hang up this immediately.
Absolute
now.
joke,
Okay,
this
I'm gonna
place.
call the security.
Absolute joke. You're an absolute joke, this place.
Here's the news flash for most people. The money in the bank is one, not money, it's not yours, and it's not there. People are investing into Bitcoin and Bitcoin companies because people like Bitcoin Master from this tweet are becoming millionaires through Bitcoin. People with $150 worth of BitAxe mining equipment are mining $250,000 Bitcoin blocks. And the reason that people feel like they need to invest into Bitcoin is because they don't feel like they have opportunities when investing into other assets. If you look at this chart from Peter Mallouk, the CEO of Creative Planning, which is one of the largest RIAs in the country, you can see that household wealth has gone from 26 trillion to over 160 trillion dollars over the last several decades. That means if you didn't own assets, well, you're out of luck. The first thing that he says in this tweet is save more than you spend. That's easy to say when you don't factor in the fact that the dollar has declined in value by 363% since 2000. Operating expenses are growing faster than people's incomes, which make it harder for people to invest and to allow compounding to work for them. I mean, look at the chart of home value since 1891. Again, good and well. Buy homes. Sounds simple, but what if you live in a high interest environment, a high debt environment, where your operating expenses are growing faster than your income and you're unable to afford a home? A la an entire generation of people that are alive and living in America right now. Bitcoin is the way that people are liberated globally. Like people in this village from Zambia, which has had their entire community transformed by being electrified. They're a rural community that had a bunch of hydroelectric power that was going to waste. Well, they plugged up Bitcoin miners, and now they're connected to the world. They have internet, they have lights, they have the ability to communicate with the rest of the world. And that was only possible with Bitcoin. Everyone talks about MicroStrategy now, but go back to them in 2020 when no one was talking about them, no one was investing into their stock, their company was growing 5% a year, they had limited cash and a limited ability to compete with the Mag 7 companies. The only thing that they could do was buy Bitcoin. And today, they own 506,137 Bitcoin. And why not? Bitcoin has been profitable for you 97.7% of the time, according to Bitcoin Magazine, if you just buy and hold. What's your time preference? What's your time horizon? How long are you looking out? Are you looking at the doom and gloom that's right in front of you? Or are you looking at an asset that is transforming markets, transforming companies, transforming villages, transforming savings accounts, and transforming the world? There's only one asset that's doing that. That's not a pledge, that's not a promise, it's not a rumor. And that's Bitcoin. Hey, I'm down at Mining Disrupt this week, and I can't wait to meet some of you all and our fans at Simply Bitcoin. Come visit us, come check us out. We'll be down here all week at the news desk. Come holler at us. And I'm super excited to do the same thing with you all and to meet everyone in person down in Dallas, Texas from April 3rd through April 6th at the BitBlockBoom conference. You're going to get to hear from some of your favorite speakers in Bitcoin, like Parker Lewis, Marty Bent, Guy Swan, Bob Burnett, Gary Leland. You're going to get to learn how to buy your first Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin at home, remove Bitcoin exchanges and exclusive Bitcoin mining workshops. You're going to get to meet some of your favorite Bitcoiners from podcasts and videos in real life at things like the Saturday Casino Night. Get $100 off your all-inclusive ticket by going to BitBlockBoom.com and using the promo code BBB25. That's BitBlockBoom.com and using the promo code BBB25. This is Dante Cook with the Simply Bitcoin crew down in Miami at the Miami Disrupt Conference. Can't wait to meet with you guys and hang out. Happy stacking.